This is gonna be quick. This is probably gonna be like a, I don't know, 7.1.1. No, I probably shouldn't do that. But this is something I've been wanting to say. And it's that I noticed anointed and prophetic people, we don't seem to like each other. We seem to run from each other. We always find like different things to pick out in each other. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there are some people who are anointed or prophetic who have already went down the dark empath Jezebelic stage and have already given themselves over to the dark side. I'm not talking about those and like teaming up with people like that, but I just noticed that we really don't like each other, and I think it also has something to do with like trauma and not really wanting to be around people who like actually like us, because we're so used to trauma bond, and then it's like some psychological stuff with it, and we like rather be with somebody who's emotionally unavailable or just completely doesn't like us, not just because it's what we're used to, but because in situations like that you don't have to commit to anything because they don't want to commit to anything. But like when someone actually likes you and could actually, like, I don't know, be a good friend or maybe somebody you could date, you'd have to actually commit and actually stay with them and not want to like start feeling trapped and jump around, different things like that. That's how I see it. I'm not really explaining it the way I want, but like I just feel like anointed and prophetic people really need to start getting together. And I don't even just mean like the chosen bloodline. I don't even mean just that. I mean like anointed people in general of any age, because it's like there's already certain traps of the enemy that's thrown at us from even like before we're even born. And it's like we all should come together instead of people trying to individually find their way and individually figure things out. And then when you're almost at the point of figuring out that you're anointed or prophetic, you get stuck at the autism label bull crap, and then you're running around claiming that, and then you get stuck in other trauma cycles and other things with these labels that are constantly being made. Or you just get stuck at the scapegoat part and just don't know why you keep getting into the relationships or just the situations that you do. Because I wouldn't even just say that, like, I get into a lot of messed up relationships. I mean, honestly, I feel like I've kind of been a little too isolated throughout my life. I mean, I could count the little encounters I have with people, but that's not really relationships. And it's just a lot I can say about that. So, I mean, with me personally, I couldn't even say the whole bad relationship thing. I could more so say I got ran through the toxic family system and cash for kids system that anointed people commonly do, but also I've just had a lot of weird supernatural stuff happen in my life in general. That's more so how I would have to describe it than just saying bad quote unquote relationships, because I mean, it really wasn't. It was just situations and systems and people I was forced around, and now it's just experiencing things that go down in a messed up world. But yeah, we really have to come together, because too many people are being dragged off into just thinking that they don't fit in, and that means that they should just go run off somewhere to become a meth addict, or run off to go date some pedophiles because they can't talk to anybody their age because they're quote unquote wise beyond their years, and different little sayings that people have are because they're a quote unquote know it all. And it's really common. And then, of course, that's what puts somebody on the path to becoming Jezebelic themselves, or just fracturing really bad and going into multiple personalities, or becoming schizophrenic, which, of course, is a form of split minds, as all mental labels are. They're all mental illnesses. It's just so much I could say. And then I also, been noticed how, due to, how things are just set up by, I don't even know how to summarize this. Due to how things are set up by that specific group of Europeans that run everything, and how they made the school system to, make people think that they're just slaves and monkeys with no purpose in life and no meaning, and nobody matters, so you can do whatever you want to anybody, and everybody's just objects for sexual stuff. Due to that, which also ties into the white supremacist philosophy of atheism, and then also the mental illness obsession that's in the Western society, a lot of people who are anointed or prophetic they wouldn't even want to consider themselves that, because they automatically feel like it's being grandiose or being delusional, or they rather just say, no, I'm just autistic. A label that kind of really just got the meaning that it's really used for now. I mean, in the 2010s, autism was still seen no different than being schizophrenic or being a sociopath, which the sociopath label, that means something other than what people really think that means too. But that's a whole nother video. Really, in the mental health field, what they really would consider sociopathic or ASPD, because sociopath isn't actually even a diagnosis. Antisocial is when you're not doing what people want you to do, pretty much, which means the same thing as the bad black boy, the bad dark skin kid with ADHD label, and the ODD label. And I mean, even the same thing the autism label on a melanated person means. But anywho, it's people are just they're taught to not think that they are what they are. You just go through a lot of brainwashing through life. Everybody does, to never meet their full potential, never see life as what it really is and what it is for. It's just so much mess. And I really hate it because it just makes people more confused. And the thing with me is that, well, I always kind of had my intuitions about different things since I was pretty much like a toddler. I was lucky enough to actually have people more than once, multiple times, especially when I was really coming out of the brainwashing and gaslighting at 14, just about my whole situation. I was lucky enough to have people tell me who I was. In fact, I remember this one dude specifically, Mr. May, when I was 9. This was before I started going through the cash for kids system abuse, and this was before, honestly, things were always kind of pretty not good and pretty abusive, but before I moved on my mom and things got worse anyway. This dude told me that I was anointed by God and people were always gonna call me crazy and stuff because I was really smart. And that was when I was 9, maybe 8, but I'm pretty sure 9. And that was before things really started to go downhill at 12. And I started getting told that I was retarded and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, yeah. And another thing is how, what is it called? Magical thinking, yeah. That's what it's called. And I used to mention this a lot in the evidence channels. That now when people are, really realizing who they are, they get terms thrown at them like magical thinking, and they get told that I'm trying to think of an example. So something that people commonly do when they're in an abuse situation, they're still pretty young. They'll be like, maybe all this is happening to me for a reason, or maybe there's something special about me, and maybe I'll be able to help other people in these situations one day, or maybe, just maybe I'm being targeted for a reason, pretty much. And it's like you come to that realization, which is the truth, but now these days, before you can get into the full truth that revolves around why things happen to you, certain things happen, now you have people throwing labels at you like magical thinking, and that is, and telling that the truth is just a coping mechanism for you to make yourself feel better about the situation. And then there was something else. I can't even remember what I was gonna say, but it's really, really messed. Oh yeah, I do now. So I was gonna say that another thing that I've noticed is that due to the mental illness obsession, it seems like every single character trait about anointed people, and just, I don't know, anybody, is now being like pathologized and made about trauma. Like the whole empath thing. Like now they're trying to say that people are quote unquote empathic, which is really just one of the signs of being anointed or prophetic. But they're saying that people are just empathic because of trauma. But it's still stupid though, because now they're saying that like people with the autism label are empathic, even though for forever and a day autism was seen no different than being a psychopath or schizophrenic. But now they're saying that, and it's funny because I noticed that all the symptoms of this new autism are the same symptoms for CPTSD, but either way, it's still bullcrap, because there's just certain ways that people are born, and certain ways that people are born to be, and certain things that people are born to do that they would have had without the trauma. But now they're saying that the only reason that you care about other people is because bad things happen to you. Which, I mean, if that was the case, and I'm sure a lot of people would care about other people, but it's just stupid for so many reasons. It also gives this idea that, like, you're pretty much selfish in that you only care about other people because of things that happen to you, because similar things happen to other people that happen to you, which is also not true, unless you just have some stuff going on that I don't remember the name for, but it's a name for that, I think. Or at least, well, I just call it a let me help you lunatic, but because they commonly will pretend to care because, like, they want to make themselves feel better about how nobody was there for them. But that's not what everybody's doing, and that's not what I'm doing either. But yeah, so